Well, hello YouTube land. So this is a little different. I figured I'd do a little breakdown of all the cars I've bought since 2019, just here in Virginia. Uh, I'm in my little me and my wife's office right now, so we can admire all the plates you've seen. So this first batch is going to be the '06 Impala, the '04 Explorer, the '03 Tahoe, and of course my favorite, the '09 Charger. These three have been my best and my worst. Next batch, I might just do the pickup trucks because I have like three of them now. Uh, but yeah, hope you guys will enjoy this little video, and thanks for watching. If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. I don't actually do this that much, but yeah, I figure let me help get the channel grow. I usually don't like to hear people say it, but people can skip through it like I do with everyone else. Anyway, thanks for watching and enjoy the show.
So here we have the '03 Tahoe. This is the one I paid $600 for a buddy of mine. Uh, he wanted a car to get around when he was first getting back. This thing was very beaten. It was a work hauler. Its back bumper was smashed in very heavily. He said he backed up into like a tree or something. But what really kicked me, really confused me, was damage on the passenger side rear light. Look right above that. You'll see it's got a straight crease. I don't know what he hit. Maybe it backed up into a power line or something, some sort of like gate. But it's absurd. And you can see here on the driver's side, someone was smashed in. You see the metal corner there from the bottom part of the light. Did not let the trunk close all the way. Rubber mallet took care of that quite easily. Same with the same size that crease. Rubber mallet smashed it a few times, straightened it out, but could not get rid of that little line. That was there forever. Uh, and like I said, when I first got it, it was a hauler. I mean, everything here was scratched up, covered in paint. The driver's seat. Oh, wait till you see that. I went to town on this car. I ripped out the entire carpet, which you will see in three, two, one. And I was finding nails, caps. I've actually found a stray 45 for some reason. No idea why. But ripped all that out. Car still smelled like lumber, but that's the headliner. Couldn't do anything about that. I put in a junkyard carpet. This one was a little bit better, not as damaged, but we put some work into it. Here's the little bit of a final shot of the trunk. Here we have the driver's seat, which was completely wrecked. Couldn't do anything about that one, so just replaced it. Also replaced the driver's side buttons too, but that was just because it didn't work. Nothing to really see there. This came from my buddy's wrecked Suburban. Both the driver and passenger seat, they were in much better condition. I also did the brakes and rotors. Once again, my buddy covered all this. I didn't have to forward him. Oh, there's a shot of the broken switch. You can see that right there. So I had to put that in. Replaced the grill on it. Again, buddy paid for all this because this is going to be his car. All in all, sunk about $1,500 at the door, all said and done. Nothing came out of my wallet, so I was quite happy. I get to drive around his car for a while mine were being worked on. I even used it to tow the '89 Corsica. Speaking of which, that one's still not running right. I gotta trade that off for a camper soon. Sounds weird, but it's true. Working on that. But oh yeah, the headlights also actually came out of my '05 Tahoe when I brought back from the Middle East and replaced with LED. There's a nice new back bumper, again donated from the my buddy's Suburban. That plate actually came off it too, and the trailer hitch too. Here she at the dealership getting the recall work done. But yeah, that's it. So, when it was all said and done, 1,500 sold for 2,500. My buddy got tired of her. All in all, she was a great car. I expect with some paint job you can see on the rims there. I've got better at it, but all in all, it was nothing but a profit of 2,500 at the end of the day. Great running car, sold to a friend of mine, still going strong. And here's the final breakdown for you. It was a pretty damn good sale. Alright, the '04 Ford Explorer. This was the worst car I have ever bought at auction. This thing was an eye-opener to what can go wrong. For one thing, it was owned by the world's worst mother. Ignore the Mustang there, that's a long story of shame and embarrassment, but this is the Explorer was even worse. I paid $420 for it. First thing I found inside, 420. I mean, look at the seats. This thing was lived in, drugged in. This thing was filthy. I mean, I pulled out so much crap from this car. It was ungodly. I mean, I did my damnedest to get this car looking nice. I wiped down everything with those damn Clorox wipes you see there. Ugh, there was cream, there was socks, there was a really sticky sock, there was... and the smell. This car just smelled of mold and pot. And it took forever for me to try and decide what to do with this thing. I mean, the interior alone was bad. Oh, that's the wrong picture, but that's one of the interior upgrades I did to this car. That's later on. Oh well, editing fail on my part. But this thing had a bad engine. It had the notoriously evil 6-cylinder with the dual timing chain, and I got scammed for an engine. I had to have one installed twice, so I was in a bucket for this one. I don't even know the total amount I lost for it, but here's a video shows the back impression. It was nowhere close to being where it should be, and cleaning it, I rug doctored the hell out of this motherfucking car. And the smell and the dirt just kept on coming. I mean, look at the rug doctor after. This is not even this is just the back of the car, and it came out looking like goddamn coffee. Oh, and that smell. Good God, the smell that came out. Eventually, I was getting towards the end of my rope, and as you saw from that third back row seat, I did a full interior swap. Oh my God, I'm just remembering this. It's still making me gag. I'm stopping. My wife wasn't here to see me do that. She's in the shower now, so I don't think she didn't hear me say that either. But I eventually found a wrecked, beautiful interior one, which I can believe paid about $350. I wrote down the last card here, you'll see it. But I put this very nice interior in there. It was comfortable, it was smooth, it had a nice leather and smell. I mean, the entire car smelled better after this. I mean, there was not a damn thing wrong with this interior. But it was amazing, and then I was like, you know what, I'm not done with this car yet. I'm going to keep this one for my wife. So I put all the bells and whistles on it, made it pass inspection, put an upgraded radio in here. And the radio in this thing was not the best. It played DVDs and it was a nice little starter radio. I got it from the junkyard. I don't remember what I paid for it. But it was a nice car at the end of it. But I still could not forget everything that was wrong with this car. And here you see it with the 4444 plates. These plates have been on so many of my cars. Eventually, I found one of the tires was completely shot, but it still passed inspection. But yeah, that was the end of that one. I towed around the Mustang, and that was a fun little trip. I was not going to make money off this car. I had to find a way to make it work for me, so I ended up trading this one for the Jeep Liberty. And here's the breakdown for you. Yeah, there's no way I was making any money off this car at the end of it, so I had to go for a trade. Traded for the 05 Jeep Liberty for an 04 Explorer. That's a win for me. Next up, we have the 06 Portsmouth PD Unit 557 06 Impala. So this thing was one auction for $490. This thing got dirt cheap, missing a passenger seat. Driver's seat was jammed, no battery, missing coolant hose, missing coolant of course. But all in all, it looked pretty solid. And just from my history, I knew I could make something with this thing. So went out there, paid for it, went through it, pulled nothing really out of it. This was the most boring police car I've ever bought at auction. Nothing was found inside of the cage, no real cool stuff. Found the strobe kit, but that's pretty much it though. You find those in every car. Push bar was nice. So this one I took a gamble on. Had the key, had the title. Same day I picked up the charger. I went down with a friend. We put a coolant hose on. We put coolant in it. Took the battery out of the Norfolk PD car I picked up for $200 and tried to fix and gave up on. Long story. Then drove it home, found I had misfire. So once again went back to the old Portsmouth car, grabbed the coil pack out of it, slapped it in this one, and bada bing bada boom, car barked to life, no issues, ran like a dream. Burned off the old fuel, drove all the way home. Here's the old seats. Don't have any pictures of the new seats unfortunately, but there were some LX ones my friend put in there. But all in all, this was a good car. I replaced the center console with a more streamlined one, took the cage out, so his kid, well, his girlfriend's son would have more room in there. This car ran beautifully. Oh yeah, this one did have. I can't remember. This one had the road flares? Okay, that might have been. No, that was the. That was definitely the. I remember. Nah, I'm not even sure anymore. But you can see how stripped out this car was. There was nothing really good with it in terms of finding stuff. But here's a picture of it in service. Well, its sister wanted it in service. It's a different number, but that's what it used to look like. Had a it was a federal signal light bar on there, but they didn't look too bad. So my friend said he wanted one. He had a broken down Crown Vic, which was sad, beyond sad. And I told him what I told him the car. When you buy this car from me, you put insurance on it immediately. You drive it home, it's good to go. That's the one rule I told him. So we have a title still. The title is my name and his name. I'm the lien holder. But this is where I took the stripe off of it, and you can see it was in a very good shape underneath all that. A little mark on the roof, but to be expected. That's the center console I put in there. Uh, it used to be a bit longer, but I just squeezed it in there. He put a different one in there from another LX. But all in all, it was pretty good. Uh, there's the Crown Vic. You guys remember that one. The poor beaten one that backfired like no tomorrow. It was such a sad car. I sold it for dirt cheap, but it was still a profit regardless. Actually, very good profit. But then this happened. This happened 2 days ago. Well, no, yesterday actually. Or probably 2 days from this video. He stopped for some firefighters and some cops that were going through the intersection. The lady was following too closely and smashed the heck out of it in that trunk. And a whole conversation with this with my buddy's mother about why the front of her car looks so much good. I explained there's an engine there. It takes a bit more of a punch, but look at her hood there. It's all crumpled in. She ain't getting that open. But the poor Impala is gone, and I'm trying to talk to him about what to do with it. He stripped off all the stuff, the push bar. He wanted to put it on his girlfriend's car, which is not even a cop car. But no, I talked to him against it. But we're gonna see what we're gonna do with this one. He didn't have insurance. He broke the one goddamn rule I gave him, and I'm pissed at him for that one. Because like I said, this car would have been fixed. It would have been fixed perfectly. He would have gotten a free paint job out of it. No issue whatsoever. And he probably could have made some money, but he put insurance on it, so we're going to see what we're going to do with this one and go from there. Here's the final breakdown. It was a good profit, even before the Crown Vic sold. $718 off a $409 car. It wasn't that bad at all. Next up, one of the greatest cars I've ever got at auction. The '09 Charger. Unit 557? I'm tired, forgive me. But this is definitely the greatest car I have bought at auction. This thing was larger than charge. You can tell, like, its entire history is looking at the photo. It was the most complete car. The striping was the most annoying thing to ever remove. I went through like 4 whizzy wheels just trying to clean her up. She also had the most cursed history with me. She had no issues with her when I got her from the auction, except for a limp mode she would go into, because I later found that was the battery. I had to deal with that. Once I took care of that, no more issue. Thing drives like a dream. But before I even got to that, I had a bad starter. Starter was intermittent. Was it go out, go back on, go back on. It was just a stupid thing. To go bad, you replace them. Did that eventually, but here's the right here. I'm actually be doing the spark plugs probably tomorrow. Getting that taken care of. Because I haven't done those yet. Did the oil twice so far. There's the old seats. You can see that they're kind of broken, the old interior. It was sad. The spotlight was even sad. It was fogged out. I replaced it with LED. Center console got changed out twice. The back seat got replaced. The cage got ripped out. I found interesting stuff. Officer breeding. If you ever see this video, please message me. I want you to see you in this car again, just temporarily. But I pulled out every little bit of wiring from this car. It was a giant stack of it. I couldn't believe how much there was. But I went through it all, tried to repurpose some of the old equipment in there, ended up not using any of it. And after having the new center console in, I just decided this car's going to be for the wife. It does not need to have any police stuff. All I want is the spotlight and the push bar. So here's a similar unit, Unit 520. I just couldn't find the exact number, so I just went with this one because it was close enough. It looked good. Here it is next to the 9C1 Impala with the plates that are now on that vehicle, like traveling plates. I love that damn plates. Uh, Here it is at the auction next to the No Thrills Impala. Again, this thing, both those cars were a great investment. Wish I could have sold the Charger, but wife liked it, so we kept it. That's the end of that story for that one. We're gonna keep that car forever. Just like Tahoe, speaking of which, still trying to get that one back from the shop. So here's the engine scanner showing the input shaft, the most annoying goddamn thing with limp mode, and oh god, I hated it so goddamn much. Mm. Yeah, it would go in limp mode, it would not go past a certain mile per hour, and it was just god awful. But like I was saying with the Whizzy wheels, he's a little fast clip of me just taking it off. I mean, I had fun doing it for a while until I got to the sides, which were so goddamn annoying. I wish I could have kept that sticker, but whatever. I actually was put on post. Don't mind my little half shadow beard here. I actually did shave. I just grow it back because I'm Irish. They just keep on coming back on. Here's the entire side of the car coming off. My back was done after that. But the car was coming out amazing. I was happy with it. I brought it that day to get the starter installed, and then the guy crashed into his wife's car. Oh, sorry, girlfriend, now ex-girlfriend's car. That guy's been an interesting time to have him paid off. Most of the car has been paid off now thanks to credit cards, and we're driving it actively. But there's the damage to the car. I was so mad, but shit happens. I didn't want the guy to be kicking up too much. And here's a second crash. Thank you, VDOT. Fuck you, VDOT. Because they stopped the lane suddenly, the person in front of me slid to a stop. Second guy slid to a stop. I came to a stop, pulled to the left. Thought I was safe. It's not much damage you see there, but you'll see later on how bad it was. But I was mad. It cracked the headlight, damaged a brand new trunk that I put on that car, and his car didn't look that bad at all. But the lady behind him got it the worst. she was done in. But it was nasty. Here's the damage. You can see where it pushed in the trunk. There was no real saving that one right now because they still have to pull that. The car's not done yet. It still has some more work to be done. As the front end is the old siren speaker. I never removed that. I probably should, but I'm just don't feel like pulling off the front end again. But yes, that's the last time you'll see this car in white. It looks so much better, and you'll see that. So here's one of the initial upgrades I did to this car after the starter. Was an Sony XAV100. LSX Matt showed me that one, and I've been loving him ever since. Uh, it's just been a great little GPS/car reader. Here it is in the final stages of its paint job here. No badging yet. They were working on that still. There's I think that's the new spotlight. No, it's the old one still. Still the front end's off. I didn't get the full interior paint job because what if you drive this car as your first car in the US and you don't get a full paint job if it's going to be battened around. And here's a little cleanup on it. The new push bar from Go Rhino. Spent $375 on that, but again, it's all being paid back by the guys who crashed me. Here it is at the hill. It went through a nice little sand pile there. But she came out incredible. She still has a few white spots. I'll have to deal with that. And then there was the center console I put in. Now, this worked out great for us for a while. But eventually, I'm like, this is her car. This is not my car. No police stuff. Bam. Went with that. I'm still doing some modifications, making it better for her. It actually has a light up cup holder, which I think have activated. And here's the show. I'm not bullshit with these prices. Yeah, there you go. There's both actually, the Impala and the Charger, just showing off just how well these came. And last but not least, here's a little collage of how this car has evolved, which, in my opinion, looks pretty damn cool. But yeah, here's the final little picture for you showing the breakdown. I forgot to put the battery in this, so it's still not for sale. Wife's happy, happy wife, happy life, and that's how it's staying.